Welcome to the Backpack Family YouTube channel. I am Jonathan, and in today's episode, Kelly, the kids, and I are heading overseas. We'll take you along as we navigate our 24-hour journey from Alaska to Indonesia. Sharing our packing strategies, tips for managing long-haul flights with children, and insights into making the most of airport lounges. Plus, we'll answer some of your most frequently asked questions. It's going to be a great episode, everybody. Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody. I can't believe it. It's been 9 months since we've last been on an airplane.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about that, we left Alaska when the kids were 3 and 1, and Forrest was actually born overseas. So for their entire lives, we've flown on hundreds of flights. And this 9-month chunk where we've been back in Alaska, I mean, it's pretty out of the ordinary for them to not constantly be on flights. Are you guys excited to get back overseas?
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Probably seeing friends.
Seeing friends, absolutely.
And also eating all the food that we're gonna go.
There's gonna be a ton of street food. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
So we did put out a survey on YouTube and on Instagram, and many of you asked a ton of good questions. Through the course of this video, we're going to be answering your questions, showing you the gear, talking about strategies that we have found very helpful over all the hundreds of flights we've taken over all of these years, and kind of what's new here in 2025. So one of the first questions that we got asked was, how do you pack for overseas trips with kids? This is going to be a very long trip that we're taking, but you can see right here, we didn't check any luggage. Like what you see right here, this is everybody's carry-ons. And so we're gonna be living out of these bags for the entire time that we're overseas on this trip. So we do pack light. We'll do gear shakedowns here a little later in the video where we'll break down like what's in the bags.
And Dad,
Yeah, bud.
look, this easy to go there. Look, there's no lines.
Basically no lines, man. We nailed it with the timing. Made it through TSA, really no problem. They did grab a couple of our bags. The one item that got us was the kids cough syrup, but it was under the limit. It was just right at the line. So for whatever reason, that was something that they flagged. Forrest, how you doing, bud?
Great, but so don't be afraid, but there's a moose.
There's a moose where?
There.
Oh my goodness. We do have a big moose. All right, so everything with TSA brings up another question. A lot of people ask about how do we handle airport security with the kids. Tips, especially if you have little kids younger than Forrest, just letting them know about everything that's gonna happen. I mean, it is a bit intimidating, I imagine, if you're a little kid who's never done that before. A lot of like security and x-rays and all that kind of stuff. But Granite, what's kind of your takeaway from TSA experience to make it a smooth process?
So usually what I do for TSA is I keep all the devices up front and easy and accessible. That way you don't have to go digging for an hour trying to find them. And also remember, no water in the water bottle. So empty it out before you get there and then fill it up afterwards.
Now you had to take your shoes off.
I did. I am 13 now and it said 12 and younger. So I am officially out of that age where now I need to take off my shoes for
Yeah,
TSA.
and when I was booking all the tickets, it was very much like 2 kids, 3 adults.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
Apparently 13 is when you turn into an adult.
As they say.
Yep.
To the club lounge, and all in all, this is a pretty good airport lounge.
Yeah, it's not crowded. There's lots of different nooks and crannies, places to sit. You can plug your devices in, so.
Good food spread. I opted for some hard-boiled eggs and some smoked salmon. And what'd you end up with, Kelly, from the vegetarian side?
They had congee that you can add your own toppings to, and fresh fruit. There's also yogurt and granola.
And so the kids are kind of over here in recharge the screen tech world. Forrest is chilling over there. Everyone's eating. But that kind of the idea of the lounge brings us to another question. A few people asked about, is the lounge access worth it with kids? And I would say in the end, absolutely. It is a net positive to the experience. Now, we've been in lounges via Priority Pass all over the world.
Yep.
And all in all, they're usually decent to pretty good. You'll come across the occasional airport lounge that is like, you know, not necessarily the best, but even if the food's not great or it's crowded, you're at least out of the main hustle and bustle of the airport. So coming into an airport lounge, I think in the end is great. Again, the kids have their own space. They're all just relaxed out. And this just gives us that time to chill, eat some good food before the international flights.
We started coming to lounges when the kids were little, and it was really nice to be able to have, to be able to change diapers and stuff in the bathroom. That wasn't a crowded bathroom. So it was kind of just, and we could lay a blanket on the floor and put them in the corner just to kind of crawl around and play. And it was just a calmer environment than being out in the mainstream airport. So definitely with kids, I would get the Priority Pass.
Yeah, and that's tied to, at least for Americans, it's tied to U.S. credit cards, U.S. travel credit cards. So it's pretty easy for us to get access to a travel credit card. And Kelly mentioned we've been visiting airport lounges since the time we left Alaska originally and moved to India. And that was over 9 years ago now. So for all these years, we've just always had a travel credit card that has given us access to Priority Pass. Now, to pay for this, if you don't have Priority Pass, it's going to cost you anywhere from $30 to $60, depending on the lounges. And at that point, per person, I mean, if we were going to pay $30 for 5, that's $150. I would say that would not be worth it. So if you can get the travel credit card that gives you access to Priority Pass, that's the way to do it. But for $150, I would say no way. I'd rather just go buy like a decent meal out in the airport
A bagel and
area.
coffee.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a couple of bucks. So we are going to spend some time enjoying breakfast, and we'll see you as we head now towards the big international flight from Seattle to Singapore.
Okay, so I have two backpacks. I have one big one which has all my clothes and all that, which I'm not gonna like use until we're at the hotel. And then I have a smaller backpack, a carry-on, which has all my handy like toiletries, devices, all that. So I always bring an eye mask because on the airplanes it's always bright, and if I want to sleep it's too bright for me, so I bring an eye mask to sleep with. Then I bring all my toiletries. And then obviously my device. For devices, I bring my Nintendo, iPad, Kindle, and headphones, all that stuff. This one, I bring just a ton of different kind of snacks, like beef sticks, Status bars, freeze-dried fruits, a book. Like right now, I'm reading The Magic of Thinking Big, which is a very good book, probably one of my favorites. And then obviously I brought my Kindle. And yeah, then I bring an adapter, of course, because we're going to so many different countries. And so that's very useful, and a bunch of different chargers. So yeah, so that's kind of everything I put in here. And the reason I keep it all in this bag, not so much my big bag, is because of TSA. It's super accessible and super easy to get at.
Oh, thank you. Cedar? Yeah. Sweet. Got a hot towel. Oh. Whew. Refreshing.
It's nice.
It is nice. So the next question that I want to answer is about seat selection. There are a couple of questions basically asking if we pay for seats or how we handle it. I do not pay anything extra to book seats together. As a family, especially with small children, the airlines have always done a pretty good job clustering us together. So like right now, I didn't pick these seats, but Cedar and I are together, and right across the way is everybody else. So yeah, we just don't pay the extra fee for that. Oftentimes on long-haul international flights, you just have that option to choose seats for free. Now, when Forrest was under 2, we could book the bulkhead row where they have bassinets, and I'll link that. Gosh, that's one of our first videos. I'll link that video right up there. On the hundreds of flights we've taken over the last 9 years, there's only been 1 or maybe 2 times where we have not been together by the original booking, but when we're on the plane, the stewardesses will work to get us. Yes, please, thank you. The stewardesses will work to arrange it so we're all together, or at least all the kids with 1 adult. So we've had pretty good luck. We've always been together, and we've not paid for any sort of fee to book our own seats. I do want to show off a couple of comfort pieces that we have acquired over the years. First one being noise canceling headphones. I've had these for years, and I prefer the over-ear noise canceling headphones versus the in-ear, especially on these long haul flights. I mean, the flight here, I think we're jumping ahead 12 hours, so we've got a 16-hour flight that we're going to be sitting on. So I like the comfort of over-ear noise canceling headphones, especially on the long haul flights. Another piece I always use on the long haul flights are the eye masks. I know Granite has one as well, but just to, daylight like this, to block out the light, it goes a real long way for the sleep comfort. Now, something new that after all these years of flying I've never really used is a neck pillow, but I thought it might be a good time to try one of them and see how we like it. But I can already tell just by wearing it a little bit on this flight, so this is my first time using this, it kind of helps lock the head in. But I have the advantage, again, I'm 5'11", that I'm kind of the perfect height for these seats, where these ear pads, when they fold out, they kind of do a pretty good job locking my head into place. But I am going to use the neck pillow as well. Kelly has one as well going on, and hers is an air inflatable one, so hers breaks down really tiny. This is more of a memory foam, so it smushes more flat, so it is a little bit bigger footprint. But I think this will be a good piece. We do have some snacks that we brought, so things like these dried strawberries and bananas. Kelly typically runs to Walmart or Target and buys a bunch of this kind of stuff, and we just divvied up. So we've got these. I also have some chocolate covered strawberries. I also have a bag of beef jerky that I'll bust out later. Cedar also has her blanket on. This is an airplane blanket. She has a stuffed animal that she likes to bring. And Granite already showed his travel bag, Kindles and Nintendos and iPads, things like that. All right, so we'll often get asked about food on the airplanes. Now, we showed you that we do bring some snacks, some supplemental stuff. But what we found on the international long-haul flights is that the food's pretty good. We've flown Emirates, we've flown Qatar, we've flown Singapore, we've flown British Airlines, and all in all, the long-haul overseas flights tend to be decent enough on food. So we'll primarily just stick with that. Now, Kelly, of course, does order the special meal, the vegetarian, and we often order kids meals. And the advantage to those is all those meals come early before the main entrees are served, so you can get food into the kids pretty quick if you order them the special kids meals, or yourself a vegetarian, or whatever your food preference might be. But in the end, food on the airplane, it's okay on the long haul flights. Welcome to the Changi Airport in Singapore. We just finished our 16-hour flight, so now we've bumped ahead 12 hours. Granite, how you feeling?
I feel okay. I actually was not tired at all on the airplane, and I'm a little tired now, but right as soon as I sit down, I'm gonna crash.
Yeah, I can feel like a little in my body, a little achy, a little sore. Typically, in terms of jet lag, what we'll do on the plane, we let the kids sleep whenever they want. We don't force them to go to bed. They kind of pretty much sleep when they get tired. And then when we actually get to the next destination, we still have another flight to get to Jakarta, but at that point we land, I think, at around 11 o'clock at night, 11:30 p.m. Jakarta time. So we'll go to bed like it's a normal nighttime, regardless that our body will think it's some kind of AM hour. As soon as we land, we try to adjust immediately to the local time schedule. So if we were to land at, say, 2 in the afternoon, we would try to stay up to at least that 10 p.m. before we go to bed. So, all right, we are going to work our way now. We're going to explore the Changi airport a little bit. We have 5 hours. And the question becomes, do we ever leave the airport during these long layovers? So if we're in an airport for 8 hours or more, we'll look to leave. But for anything under 8, we'll just stay in the airport. Now, the Jewel is an option, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, we actually have to go through immigration to get to the Jewel. So for 5 hours we may or may not go to the Jewel, but either way, we'll spend a little time exploring, then work our way to a lounge. Forrest, how are those flights for you, buddy?
Good. So, in New Zealand, like in slides, like in other slides, I don't like sleep in them. But I slept in one until I couldn't eat in the morning. I couldn't eat in the night. I was still sleeping through that.
Yeah, you basically slept through all your meal time. Are you getting hungry? They have some good restaurants here. Should we go find some food?
Yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Maharab Lounge. Is that what it's called?
Mahaba.
Mahaba
Which is,
Lounge?
I think, hello in Arabic.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
So our typical lounge with priority pass that we usually go to is the SATS lounge. However, they were not accepting priority pass memberships between now and 9 p.m. So you do butt up against that from time to time. Now in a place like Singapore,
There's so many lounges.
yeah, the airport's huge. There's
Yeah.
just a ton of lounges. So it wasn't any big deal to just bump down to this one. So if you're in a smaller airport and there's only one lounge though, and they might not be taking priority pass during specific busy hours. So anyway, we got here. Food looks pretty good. I got a vegetable lentil and some fish.
And I got dal
Yeah.
and rice.
So we'll just chill here. This is sort of like the lounge area. You can see it's not too busy. They have some tables, like proper tables over on the backside, but those were all filled. So we're just gonna sit here, enjoy, and our flight is in about 2 hours before we board. So we're just gonna hang out, relax.
Our last flight of the day.
Last flight of the day into Jakarta.
Cedar here, and I just wanted to show you guys what I pack in my carry-on. So first I have some headphones so I can listen to some music, and then got like an iPad for like watching movies. And then I have my stuffed animal, and then I have some that's it bars. I usually don't bring this, but since I'm not finished with school yet, I have some school stuff. I have my Nintendo. I have this game called Liar Liar. It's a really fun game. I got this Kindle I got for my birthday. I just want to show you guys what book I am reading. So what I'm reading is a book called Better Than the Movies, and I recommend it to any teenagers that like to read. And then in my next compartment, I have my glasses case and my toothbrush and toothpaste. And I also have a hairbrush. I have kind of like travel stuff like this raincoat. I have sunscreen. I have tissues. I have tennis ball for playing in the pool. I have a charger box. Right here. And yeah, that's basically it for what I bring in my tiny backpack.
All right, we are entering hour 21 of travel and our third flight, final flight.
Yes.
How you feeling, Cedar?
I'm feeling really excited to get to Indonesia and just lay at the hotel and rest.
Yeah, well, we've got one night that we're gonna do at our favorite airport hotel because we're getting in basically at midnight. So we're gonna sleep at the airport. And then tomorrow we are going to travel to where we're gonna be staying longer in Jakarta. What would you say is like kind of the hardest thing about this last leg, or kind of what we're dealing with now, hour 21?
Hour 21, I would say, is motivation and positive attitude.
Yep.
The excitement of getting onto the adventure is kind of wearing off. We've watched all the good movies, we've eaten all of our road snacks, and now it's just like, all right, we can do this.
The big
Rally.
push. Yeah, patience. Patience. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we're just walking through the gate now. We've got an hour and I think a half, maybe 40 minutes or so of flight time, and then we'll see you guys in Jakarta. Forrest, how you doing? 21 hours of travel. How you feeling?
good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How's your experience been so far?
Good. Because it's like 9 months until we leave.
Yeah, we haven't been on an airplane for 9 months, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
it's a
pretty
long
excited to
time.
get back to Indonesia?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Everybody's pushing you. Nice one. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Welcome to Indonesia. Can't believe we're here. It's been 9 months. So if you don't know, we did live here for 4 years. 9 months ago is actually when we left and began our life back in America. So this is kind of a home away from home. We will now work our way to the visa process. The visa situation in Jakarta is fairly straightforward as an American anyway. I think you can get something like a 30-day visa just on arrival, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, everyone, welcome back. Jakarta, does it feel kind of like home in a way?
Yeah, it's definitely hotter than Alaska.
Oh yeah, definitely a little bit more humid than Alaska.
Yeah, there's something about that heat and humidity that I miss.
You just kind of miss it, don't you? This might be us here. Let's see. So we got our visas on arrival, 500,000 per person. So now we connected with our gentleman here to the FM7 hotel. Absolutely. We'll show you the hotel. It's by far the best airport hotel. Well, let's head that way. Oh, yes. All right, welcome to the FM7, everybody. We made it. We're gonna set the bags down, get settled, and come back with you here with a wrap up. All right, everyone, we are settling in. The time, it's 1:15 in the morning. So in Alaska, that's like 10:15 a.m. So we're gonna be in this weird limbo. But basically, again, for the jet lag tip, is go to bed at the normal time that you're currently the country you're in. So it is 1 a.m. We're all going to bed. But big takeaway for me, organization. Make sure you have all your visas, your passports. I keep all those in my little front bag handy because you go through so much immigration that you want to just grab and put out. Anyone else have a tip to offer?
I definitely enjoyed having the noise canceling headphones on all these flights. I didn't hear anybody. When I did sleep, I slept really hard, and it was nice. Even just like the rumbling of the airplane was loud in some of them, so it was nice to have those. We had a brand new inflatable neck pillow, and that was a game changer for
You like
me.
that one?
Yep.
Cool.
My tip is to bring an eye mask, because on the airplanes, right when it's like dark, but then like 2 minutes once you're in the air, they turn on all the lights and it's super blazing bright.
And try to like feed you food.
Yeah, they like to tap you awake. You gotta like get everything ready. But yes, definitely bring an eye mask because sleeping in the dark's better for your health.
One thing I suggest is that you organize your charge cords. So like you know where your phone cord is, or you know where your headphone cord is. So you can easily just grab, plug in, and go.
It's such a small space on those airplanes. Knowing where all your stuff is very helpful. So, all right, now one more. Forrest, do you have any sort of tips for the kiddos in the world who are traveling overseas?
Yeah. Always bring food because if you don't, then the airplane passengers will like get the food. And one thing is I like the food. Tastes good.
Yeah, you like the airplane food? Yeah. It wasn't bad. You slept through a couple of meals, so I like your tip of having snacks. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that look of traveling overseas in 2025 with 3 kids. 24 hours was our kind of total from point A to point B. As long as you're organized and you're patient, it becomes a pretty enjoyable trip, actually. All right, everyone, we're going to add to our Indonesian playlist a lot of great videos coming your way. And everyone, we'll see you in the next episode. A quick add-on for you. I wanted to show you the best features of the FM7 hotel. So we have a few hours before we have to check out, so we're going to take full advantage. We've got the very large standard temperature pool for lap swimming and playing. But over here, check this out. We've got the hot tub. Look at this huge hot tub. It's huge.
Yeah, and it's hot. It's super hot.
And then this is the cold plunge pool.
Very cold.
And it's sort of an outdoor-indoor hybrid. So it's steamy, temperatures feel great, but I'll show you 2 more features real quick. Over here, so you've got the hot, the cold, and check this out. Total steam room. Oh, jeez. Okay, that just totally fogged up the lens. Steam room is there. They have a huge dry sauna in here. Woo! Oh, that's just brutally hot. And then they have a workout gym over here. I'll just show you to the guys. There's people working out, so I don't want to show too much. But they got a whole huge workout gym. So between the workout gym, pool, hot tub, cold plunge, steam sauna, dry sauna, this is why you come to the FM7. So we're gonna spend the next several hours just enjoying. Oh, nice. Inner peace, inner peace.
Good for the muscles. Okay, go. English.